I won't throw the first punch. But if he throws a punch at me, I will throw 5 more right back at him.
Meet Chael Sonnen, one of the fastest rising stars in the Ultimate Fighting Championship.
Born and raised in Oregon.
In August, he is scheduled to fight the legendary Anderson Silva for the UFC Middleweight Championship.
Very decorated wrestler, and I'll tell you what, very confident and very vocal.
But what you probably don't know is that Silva is not Sonnen's only big fight. He's facing an even bigger showdown.
Please give a round of applause to Chael Sonnen.
This time in the political arena.
Hey, thanks, guys. It's a real blue ocean down in Salem right now, but there's a red tide coming. I am part of it. There's a lot of good people that have come forward.
That's right. World-class wrestler Chael Sonnen is fighting to be the next Republican state representative of District 37 in Oregon.
But people tell me a lot. They say, man, you sound like a prize fighter. You know, because I'll get excited. I'll get fired up on the top. They say, you sound like a prize fighter. You sound like a guy that's trying to draw attention to his campaign because he's getting ready for battle. I am.
Sonnen is taking his battle dead seriously. For most of the day, you'll find him campaigning door-to-door, answering phone calls, and returning emails. But by 3 p.m., he's in the gym training with Team Quest as he prepares for his other goal, the biggest UFC fight of his young career.
Yeah, running for office and training for a title fight are tough, but everything's tough. You know, if it wasn't hard, I wouldn't want to do it. That's why I got into fighting. I looked at it and said, geez, that's the toughest sport there is. If there was a tougher sport, I'd leave fighting today and go do that.
Sonnen was born and raised in West Linn, Oregon. He attended the University of Oregon where he wrestled for 4 years. But from early on, Chael knew he wanted to be in the UFC.
You know, he's been wrestling since he was a little kid. And I used to think, this is hard, I can't watch. It'll get easier as he gets junior high school. It got harder as they get older, you know, because then they could really get hurt. You know, when they're little, they bend easier.
So, with all of his success as a fighter, why would Sonnen want to be a politician?
You get a room full of politicians, they get insulated down there in Salem, they don't feel the blow because they're not spending their money. They don't have the courage to tell people no.
But will the guts and determination that make him such a formidable UFC fighter help him or hurt him with the voters?
Right now, what our real issues are jobs and the economy. You've got to cut the waste. And if you've got blood on your hands, well, that's where it should be. If you're a politician, that's exactly where it should be.
Sonnen knows what it means to break a sweat. That's why he's out every day going door to door, asking for votes.
Hello? Hey, good afternoon. I'm Chael Sonnen. I'm your neighbor.
Going door to door is the hardest thing to do in politics. It really is. To meet a new person, to introduce yourself, to ask them to vote for you. And to get all of that accomplished in less than 60 seconds and move on to the next door. I simply ask them, what are your concerns? What's going on? And that's how you learn. You learn the plights that people have by going around and talking to the people.
Surprisingly, Sonnen is not the only UFC fighter turned politician. His good friend and training partner at Team Quest, Matt Lindland, also ran for state Congress in 2008. Lindland used this video against his political opponent.
And higher taxes on small businesses.
I'm Matt Lindland, and I wouldn't do that. It'll kill jobs.
We're very close friends. You know, I think more so though, I'm a mentor and a coach to Chael. I've been a coach of his since he was 15 years old, since he was a sophomore in high school. So I think it's a little different relationship than, you know, a couple, you know, drinking buddies or college pals.
Lindland lost his campaign in 2008 by 4%. His opponent used the brutality of UFC to paint Lindland as a thug. Sonnen makes no attempt to deny that UFC fighting is a brutal and bloody business.
This sport is barbaric. I hear all the time people say it's not barbaric, and I go, really? 2 guys fist fighting in a cage that have no prior disagreement with one another for a drunken crowd and a paycheck? That's not barbaric? It's not? What is barbaric then?
He's still working right through it, though. Oh, yeah. Well, that's mental.
The roughest match I've ever been in was my last one with Nate Marquardt. It was an absolute dogfight. I had a number of stitches in my hair, had the scar on my face, I broke my sternum. My legs hurt, my arms hurt, my hand. It was a nightmare.
But Sonnen argues that his record as a cage fighter proves that he has the guts and stamina to take the pain his political opponents will try to inflict on him.
You know, politics can be more brutal than fighting because they try to hurt your feelings. In a fight, you're trying to score points and you're trying to gain control, and you shake hands before, you shake hands after. It's over that night, you walk away and you don't ever think about it again.
Politics, that's dirty and conniving. At least in the MMA world, you know who your opponent is. You can see what they're going to do. They're not trying to stick you in the back.
What do I think is more brutal, politics or fighting? Politics.
That is a vicious attack.
You want to know what I'm doing? Shut up.
Have you watched Fox? Have you listened to Rush Limbaugh? Then you know what's more brutal.
Chael's family expects his political enemies to say some nasty things.
But you know that somewhere out there somebody's going to take some word he says out of context, or some deed that happened when he was 2 years old and blow. I worry about that kind of stuff. The dirty politics, I worry about.
It's too early to tell if he will be as successful in politics as he is in fighting. But Sonnen makes one thing clear. He's prepared to do whatever it takes to win.
Tell me it shouldn't be personal. Well, it is personal. They tell me they're going to work hard. I'm going to work hard. You want to knock doors? I'll knock more. You want to wake up earlier? I'll get up earlier. You want to raise money? That's just my game. But you tell me that I sound like a guy getting ready for a fight. I am.